But really, I see being able to take this well-established business and this wonderful platform, and we've got the perfect opportunity to really transform the company into a serious multi-asset business over the next 3 to 5 years.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Caledonia Mining Chief Financial Officer Ross Gerrard. Ross, very good to meet you. You're a few months in the job now. Could you tell us about your experience before Caledonia?
Hi, good morning, Stephen. Nice to meet you. Yeah, the first quarter for Caledonia. Very excited to be here. Well, I am a chartered accountant by background, so I'd spent my time in the accountancy profession back in Australia with Deloitte in Perth, where I was a partner in the Energy and Resources Group, and I had the opportunity to join one of my clients, Centamin PLC. So I moved across to Centamin almost a decade ago, and I've spent that time as CFO with Centamin. Centamin is a FTSE 250 client, dual listed, London and Canada. And as you would have seen, it was taken out by AngloGold Ashanti late last year for $2.5 billion. I guess of relevance to Caledonia during my Centamin time, we had many milestones, challenges, but also lots of achievements and celebrations. And I guess what's most relevant is the experience that we had in the last 5 years, where we reset their core asset, the Sukari gold mine in Egypt. We reset that through life of mine, resetting the whole production, life of mine costs, but specifically looking at that all-in sustaining cost base and resetting that asset to be the foundation for the Centamin Group to build a multi-asset portfolio. And I guess that's where I see the parallels with joining Caledonia and what we have with Blanket.
So what attracted you to Caledonia then, Ross?
Well, I guess it is the Blanket mine, where we have a wonderful operating asset. That asset has been producing for a long time and is doing really well. But there's a further opportunity and optimization that we can roll out at Blanket. And that Blanket generation, or I guess successful operation, will be that foundation for further development opportunities, which are already within our portfolio and we can develop further. So when I look at Caledonia, I look at that great asset, and which provides the foundation. I also look at the people. We've have a very highly experienced workforce, very educated and very motivated, working in Zimbabwe. So we're not reliant on having expats and having to move people into a certain asset. And then that growth potential, as I mentioned, that's already in our portfolio. We don't have to go out and buy it, pay a premium, and then develop something. It's already in-house with us already.
So what areas are you specifically focusing on within the business?
Well, I think the most immediate one that I've really sort of drawn attention to is that immediate focus on the cost base. So it's focusing on extracting sustainable costs across the business, and I'm not referring to a sort of slash and burn exercise where we're just going to take out costs at all costs. But it's really looking at extracting sustainable costs across the business to reset that platform. I think particularly in a high gold price environment that we have at the moment, industry is notorious for that. So, there's a cost creep that goes up and we see that set in very quickly. So it's having that disciplined focus on costs and making sure that it's a reset for the longer term and is sustainable, not just a slash and burn. And then I think the second point that I've really focused on is this disciplined approach to cash flow. So we have the daily and weekly challenge in terms of US dollar and local currency ZiG cash flows. So making sure that whilst operations are good and gold price is high, we're managing that and being able to deploy those cash flows, but then also being able to allocate those across our capital allocation portfolio. So making sure that we're investing back into the mine. We're building a stockpile of cash that we can allocate to further growth opportunities, but equally we're very focused on shareholder returns. So it's making sure that capital allocation is well balanced, well managed, and with a longer term view in mind.
What's exciting you most about the company's future, Ross?
Well, as we discussed, I think it's the people and the growth projects that sit within the portfolio. So I think that provides a very good opportunity and that overall potential. I am biased, so you can hear from my accent. I am from Zimbabwe. I was born in Zimbabwe, so I guess I understand a lot more on the ground than most. But what I see in Caledonia, which it's already got a long and deep legacy within the country, that there's already that competitive advantage. So we well positioned. We're a very large employer and major contributor to the economy and generating significant returns. So again, that impetus and that platform is well positioned. But really, I see being able to take this well-established business and this wonderful platform, and we've got the perfect opportunity to really transform the company into a serious multi-asset business over the next 3 to 5 years. So again, it's all in-house. We've got that within that portfolio. We've got cash generation. We can pursue these short-term operations off cash. We don't have to go out and find that cash. And then in terms of the bigger, more strategic positions, in terms of the bigger developments, we're well positioned that we can then go to the external market off that great platform. And what better time to do that in the current gold price environment?
Great environments indeed, Ross. I hope you'll keep us updated on progress at the company. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Great. Thank you, Stephen. Bye.
Ross Jerrard, CFO at Caledonia Mining.